watching. A quick reminder to Merkabah Scholar Society members, make sure you guys check your email. The video for the Amazon affiliate course has gone out, so you guys can go on ahead and download that video, as well as the new calendar with the updated dates on there. So issue was going on with the links in the description. So if anybody was trying to book a consultation, that is now fixed. They had to readjust the calendar because they had a lot of bookings, as well as therapy. As I said, I was in a car accident, so I'm going through physical therapy. I have to work around that as well. So Merkabah Scholar Society members, make sure you guys check your emails, get that link, download the video and check it out. Check out the new calendar. So we have the updated meetings on that calendar or what have you. Had to move some things around. We'll go back and we will review course 1 on the Amazon affiliate course for the video. So I know you guys are going to have questions or what have you. I broke down everything in that video, made it real easy for you guys to understand. So no worries. Check out the video, go through it. Make sure you guys follow the steps and you guys should be good. As I said, I'm going to show you guys how to make money day 1, how to begin to make money day 1. Once you get set up and going, it's going to be easy money from then on. I'm going to add on and give you more things to generate money. So we got a couple more courses to go through with that. We're going to go through Shopify as well, break that whole thing down. So it's a lot of different things we got coming up, a lot of different things to go through. But make this video easier. We're going to have questions. I understand that. So like I said, it's not going to be tough. Once you follow the steps, you should be good to go. You don't have to be super computer savvy, to do this. It's real easy. We're going to cut through all the bullshit as I do and make it real easy and simple for anybody to follow these steps and begin to make money. And again, it's one of those things where the amount of time and effort you put into it is going to make it easier for you to see that income that you want to see. And I show you guys what to do and how to do it. And it's more to it, but what I put out so far is enough for you guys to start, and then we'll take it from there. Also, link is in the description for anybody still trying to join Merkabah Scholar Society. Again, final phase is up. This is it. So anybody who gets in now, you guys will be in. Everybody else will have to make the full payment. I did not change the payment, but they will never go down. You have final shot. Link is in the description, as I said before. Go ahead and grab it and get it out the way for people trying to join. Again, I mean, the money you spend on this, you'll make back for anybody who's doing the affiliate program. If you guys want to do that, you're going to make the money back. I'm showing you how to generate extra money a month so you can take care of bills or what have you. This is foolproof, easy way to generate money. No way you can lose doing this course. It works. It's just real. So I've been doing it for years. It's been working for me, and I show you guys how to do it in the video. So yeah, I know people are going to have questions. We'll get into all that in the live. But I'm going to get into this rundown real quick. We put out the rundowns. We're going through these videos, coming up on a lot more. So stuff is going to be releasing today. New stuff coming out all week. I've been busy working hard, doing therapies, a lot going on. But make sure you guys, when you fill out for the consultations, make sure you guys fill out the questionnaire, what's asking you what your question is. Make sure you fill that portion out. So again, probably only going to do consultations for this month. So make sure you guys get a spot. If you choose a spot when you book, please note, again, that spot may not be available. So you'll probably get an email asking you to pick a different date if that spot is not available. As I said, there's a lot of people doing custom bookings. So if you need a custom booking, you can just shoot me. You can go online, basically pick a time, a date, what have you. If you need a custom booking, just send an email after that and we can change and reschedule for a different date, a custom date. So it's up to you guys. But all that stuff is available now. All the links in the description should work. So make sure you guys take advantage. But yeah, let's get into this video. You have to understand first, there is no such thing as melanin. Plain and simple, there's no such thing as melanin. Melanin is a word created by Europeans to basically cover up carbon. Carbon-12. Carbon-12 is really melanin. I know a lot of you probably heard about this or know about it, but we're going to go into it a little deep here so you can really understand what this is really all about. So I know you probably say, well, what's all this stuff about melanin we just watched? Just basically replace melanin with carbon, and you have to understand why they came up with that. And I know you're going to ask yourself,
Why would Europeans come up with a word to basically replace carbon if melanin is actually carbon? Why would they want to hide that? And we're going to basically answer that question by, posing another question. And you have to think to yourself, wouldn't you think at some point in history, some point in time, Europeans did research to figure out what is it that make black people black? You have to think at some point they did that study, right? Of course they did. And when they did that study, they came to the fact that, one, they have a lot of problems themselves and they lack an abundance of melanin that is really important and essential to life, to being a human. And one of the reasons why they hid it, why they basically had to change the name to melanin, is simple. It's because melanin is not an element. It's just that simple. Melanin is not an element essential to the existence of human life. Carbon-12 is. So if you say to people that, they lack an essential element to being a human being, to being, from the creator or from, the divine or what have you, when you start really getting into it scientifically, then people will really trace it back to something that they don't want them to trace it back to, which we'll get into. So thus they came up with the word melanin, which we'll talk more about that in a second. So now understand, I'm going to use melanin because you guys are more familiar with that word. And, when I say melanin, I'm talking about carbon, carbon-12. Let's say carbon or carbon-12, I'm talking about melanin. So understand that. Now, they came up with melanin to hide the fact that melanin is carbon, which is an essential element. Plain and simple. You have 6 elements that make up the building blocks of life, or what they call the elements of life. You have hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. You have carbon. You have phosphorus, and you have sulfur. These are basically the elements of life. And they understand when you start really digging into carbon, it's going to lead you back into some information they don't want you to really know about, which is going to lead you back to Kemet, and you're going to understand a whole wealth of knowledge, believe it or not, which we'll get into. So when you look at these elements, of course, you do not find melanin. So, what is melanin? But you do find the properties of melanin in carbon. So let's take a look at something called carbon black. So now we're going to see the same benefits in melanin we find in this carbon black. So now it says, carbon black is a form of polycrystalline, which polycrystalline is like a liquid crystal, polycrystalline carbon that has a high surface area to volume ratio, albeit lower than that of activated carbon. Now it says down here, the most common use, 70% of carbon black, is as a pigment and reinforcing phase in automobile tires. Carbon black also helps conduct heat away from the tread and belt area of the tire, reducing thermal damage and increasing tire life. Carbon black particles are also employed in some radar absorbent materials used in the reduction of the radar cross section of aircraft and in photocopier and laser print toner and other inks and paints. The high tinting strength and stability of carbon black has also provided use in coloring of resins and films. About 20% of world production goes into belts, hoses, and other non-tire rubber goods. The balance is mainly used as a pigment in inks, coatings, and plastics. For example, it is added to polypropylene because it absorbs ultraviolet radiation, which otherwise causes the material to degrade. So we can see carbon black. Carbon has that same type of properties that melanin has as far as shielding from heat. They use carbon black to make the TV dinner trays as well. The ones, microwave dinners you put in a microwave. But, they use it to keep, the tray from melting before your food gets cooked. So you can see they use carbon black in a lot of things. They use carbon black in the towels for the space shuttle they use on re-entry. So many different things you can find carbon black in, having those same properties as melanin, and it's something that a lot of people have no clue about. A lot of people don't even know about carbon black, but you can see how they go hand in hand. So of course, they want to basically cover up melanin, cover up carbon, cover up the fact that it's an essential element in life. And if you go out and you tell, white folks that they lack an essential element and creating life, then you will understand why they have so many problems, so many health issues. you will understand, one, that Africans are superior because they're genetically dominant, more superior than Europeans. And of course, this is something that they do not want people to figure out. Now, also, when they're doing this research, because we're basically talking about what they're going to find out when doing the research on what makes black people black. I mean, understand this, grasp this. At some point, they had to do the research, and they did, of course. And in doing the research, they figured this out, and they figured out a whole lot more. So now, in doing their research on what makes black people black, they will find out, one, that it's carbon. It's carbon-12. Carbon-12 is essential to the building blocks of life, and African people have an abundance of it. So upon further research, they will find out that carbon has 15 isotopes. Of those 15 isotopes, 2 of those isotopes are stable. That's carbon-12, carbon-13. Now, carbon-12 makes up 98.93% of carbon. That's like most of the carbon. Carbon-12 is most of carbon. So they would ask themselves, well, damn, what is so special about carbon-12? How do you get carbon-12? And they will understand that you get carbon-12 through the triple alpha process, what they call the triple alpha process. Now, the triple alpha process involves 3 helium-4 nuclei. So you have 2 helium-4 nuclei that basically fuses, right? They fuse and they create beryllium-8. So you have 448. So 2 helium-4 nuclei fuse, you get beryllium-8. That beryllium-8 then fuses with another helium-4 nuclei and gives us carbon-12. So 8-4-12. So then carbon-12, we know carbon-12 is 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, which gives us carbon, which gives us man. So again, 666 in the Bible. I talked about this before. Boom. It goes back to carbon-12. This is major for them. It would blow their mind when they figured it out. And one of the main reasons why it would blow their mind is because they would know that the triple alpha process also can be found in the formation or the creation of stars. So it's like, well, damn, these people are a sun. And you can understand now, and you start taking this stuff back to Kemet. Damn, this is what the Egyptians was talking about. And there's so much more into this. But they will understand that it's something really special about African people. It's something special about these building blocks. And when you put all this stuff together, it really leads you to an unbelievable conclusion about the power of melanin that they lack. So now, as I talked about in the Saturn Satan series, when we got into the planets and everything, and I talked about, the solar system coming in existence due to a supernova, as science explains. I mean, think about that. So when you understand supernova is an explosion of stars, and I talked about how everything comes together and what have you. When you understand that, and then you look at the fact that, these elements, the building blocks, can be found completely 100% in African people, it would blow them away. And as I talked about before, you have consciousness creating energy creating elements, and those elements creating, physical matter, everything that we see, the planets or what have you. So they would look at this carbon-12, which they have to cover up and change to melanin, something different than carbon-12, this element. But they will look at it and see that, African people can be traced back to the creator, can be traced back to consciousness itself, this energy. It's crazy when you really start breaking it down, and this is what they will find out. Again, you got to ask yourself, how all this stuff get here? Where did all this stuff come from? And when you understand, again, consciousness creating energy creating these elements are the building blocks for everything that we see. So what basically scares them, and any scientist, any real scientist, or anybody who really studies, physics, who studies the universe, the stars, what have you, this is so easy for them to basically get, and it's tough because you have most of the scientists and physicists being white people. And for a lot of them, they would not come to this conclusion, and they most certainly probably wouldn't write about it and put it out there for people to criticize them on and call them traitors or racist or, anything or what have you. So this kind of information is just really known in, secret societies, and it's just not really put out there, for people to really just get easily. So you have to understand, one, if the universe the creator, God, whatever you want to call it, if the universe manifested itself into a physical body, it would be the black woman. It's just that simple. They understand that. So now check this out. You have consciousness creating energy, energy creating elements, those elements creating the physical material universe that we see. Black people are made of those elements. We are energetic beings. We have a consciousness. It's just that simple. So the consciousness of the universe, the consciousness of God, or what have you, creating the energy, creating the elements and the physical material reality of this universe that we see today, is the same as when a black woman gives birth to a child. So the black woman is basically a physical manifestation of God, the creator itself. So when you understand how the building blocks work and you start backtracking and putting this stuff together, this is the conclusion that they will have come to, and basically trying to figure out what makes us black. And they did this a long time ago, and they understand it. And when they understood it, things changed, plain and simple. So there's no way you can do the research. You can do that research on what makes black people black and not find this out. So what do they just say? Oh, it's melanin. It's a pigment. And notice what he's saying in the beginning of the video. He says, oh, well, is melanin just something that just makes our skin black, or is it more to melanin? You know, understand that, because that's what people have been told. Oh, no, it's just melanin. So think about it. They did the research. What makes black people black? What is it? And they found all of this out. So they just said, no, it's called melanin. It's this pigment stuff that just basically makes your skin black. That's all it is. But then here you have, again, a doctor, a white man, gives up all this information, and it changes the whole understanding and the whole thought process of what melanin is. Now, again, he didn't say it's carbon. He didn't say it's carbon-12. And you can admit that carbon-12 has the same benefits of melanin, as I just talked about.